All right. Well, we've got a really big agenda today, so we'll start right off the bat right now. I'm here joined with Umair from Stormatics and one of my colleagues, Alex. We're here to talk today about Postgres 101 for Oracle DBAs. Postgres is a really hot topic for Oracle DBAs and in in the Oracle world. So let's get into it. One piece of housekeeping before we start. We have question and answers in this little button down the bottom. So if you have any Q&A, please put it in there. We'll try and respond to it during the presentation. And also for those of you who are not English as your first language, you can select show captions and then use the translation service as well. And you'll see translated captions in your language. So that might help. All right. And so a little bit of background about dbvisit and Stormatics first before Umair kicks off into the real presentation. dbvisit is a database disaster recovery company. We've been doing this for 20 years. We really work to make disaster recovery simple and easy, no matter what type of license you're using. So we operate in 120 countries today, and we have over 1,700 customers around the world. And what we really focus on is having happy DBAs, happy customers, and making disaster recovery a really simple business decision if you ever do need to fail over. So I'm joined with my colleague, Alex, who's the head of product management and development. We'll be talking a little bit later on around database continuity options on Postgres. But before that, the star of the show is Umair. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Umair and I met online, some really great posts and content about Postgres, and I knew the Oracle community would really value your perspective on Postgres. Obviously, a 20-year veteran of the Postgres community, a lot of history within Pecona and Second Quadrant, leading development and product management within those companies there. So really excited to hear about your commentary on Postgres today for Oracle DBAs. So without any further ado, I'll hand over to you and look forward to hearing.
Thank you very much. And let me see if I can quickly figure out how to share my screen. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, we've got that.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you, Tim, for the kind intro. And we are here to talk about Postgres, give a brief intro, some history, with the idea being that if you're coming in from an Oracle background or a different proprietary database background, and you want to explore Postgres, we want to make sure that you understand what you're getting into, what to expect, what are the kind of differences, and most importantly, tackle why you should consider Postgres as a good option. So Postgres 101 for Oracle DBAs. You already saw a sneak preview of this slide from one of Tim's slides, but I am joining you today all the way from Islamabad, Pakistan. I've been in the Postgres space, in the Postgres community since 2003, so it's more than 20 years. And over the course of these 20 years, I've been part of pure play Postgres organizations like EDB, OpenSCG, Second Quadrant, and Percona. Currently, I run a professional services organization by the name of Stormatics, and our focus is to help businesses scale Postgres for critical data. Now, on to the topic of conversation. What is Postgres? It's an object relational database. It's purely open source with a very liberal license that is recognized by the Open Source Initiative, the OSI. It is perhaps one of the most liberal licenses that are out there, even within the open source community. It is compliant with the SQL standard. It's compliant with the atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability standards that is expected of any database that's worth its name. It supports both structured and unstructured data. This is something that's pretty unique to Postgres, that is very highly extensible. The design is such that plugins can be created and extensions can be created to extend the functionality if there's a need to do so. We'll talk about that in a little bit. A little bit of a history about Postgres. It started off in 1986 in the University of California, Berkeley. And the name given at that time was Berkeley Postgres Project. Professor Michael Stonebreaker led the project at that time, and it was sponsored by a bunch of organizations that were mostly defense-related, the U.S. defense-related. Interestingly enough, it's around the same time that Cybrid, started off in the same university, and there was a lot of overlap in personnel and the research that was going on. And this Microsoft SQL Server database actually takes its roots from Sybase, and why you will see a lot of commonalities between Postgres and Sybase and SQL Server. They appear to start off with the same or a similar set of people in the same university around the same time. Fast forwarding to 1994 is when Postgres was open sourced. The code was made available to public with a bunch of improvements. At that time, it was named Postgres 95. In 1996, folks realized that it's not a name that is scalable because the year 95 is going to change to 96 and onwards. And that's when it was named PostgreSQL, or Postgres for short. And that's how it exists to this date. It's important to understand the history because it's been around for a while, and over the course of the last 30 odd years, the stability and the feature set has amassed, and it's become increasingly more reliable for production workloads. A few numbers